Cities. My name is Scott Ace. I'm going to be your real estate agent today.
I'm Katie.
I heard you, Kelsey, and
yeah.
All right. Well, you guys let me know what you were interested in. I already drew up a report for you.
Great.
So, just to be clear, you guys were interested in moving to a city that's a little bit different climate than Vancouver, around the university, and kind of a big metropolitan area.
Yeah, we want to be roommates because we're debating between the 3 cities for college. So.
All right, great. Well, I took a look at the 3 cities, and I can tell you that it appears that the market is recovering, and I have some data if you have questions. So what I can tell you is that we looked at the S&P Case and Schiller Home Index, and that's a collection of data that measures the average change in value of residential real estate, given a constant level of quality for the top 20 major U.S. metropolitan areas. So basically what it does is it measures the change in total value of all single family existing housing stock. And the equation's a little dull, I won't get into that, but it basically uses a benchmark for home price linked financial product development, trading, and settlement. So all the numbers, a lot of the information you saw is going to be based off around that. Also, according to Zillow, Case-Shiller is based on report sales methodology, meaning it only includes homes that have sold at least twice in recent history. It includes all new construction. So it's more of a true representation of what guys are looking for. Also, Zillow uses the hedonic imputation, which is a median of factual and estimated market values of all homes in the market. The S&P Case-Shiller has a quarterly release frequency where Zillow releases their data monthly. So the data is up to date too, so you can trust it. So, do you have any questions?
What does the 100 in the index mean?
Well, since all the data begins with the 100 is the starting point for the collection of each data for the city. So that's kind of the
starting base point.
Exactly.
Okay.
So 100 being the base, it's just easier to compare and track any differences.
Okay, so if it was at a 125, that would mean?
If it's out of 125, that means the home price would be 25% higher than the starting point.
Okay, makes sense.
So.
Is there any adjustment to that, like seasonal availability versus?
There is seasonal adjustments to that. You do that, they compile stats, and they make a seasonal adjustment. And that's to calculate non-seasonal trends by removing the seasonal component. From a real estate standpoint, it would be adjusting out the components that homeowners usually do not sell their homes during the winter months, where there's usually the slow season. And so therefore, there's a higher amount of buying in the summer season, so you have to calculate
Makes sense.
For that. So basically, after looking at the data, the overall conclusions I came up with is that they're both pretty high in the mean index rating, so values are a little higher than the national average.
Okay, so it looks like Los Angeles would have the highest, probably?
Yes, it does. Los Angeles has the highest mean of 185.55K. Okay. And then second is San Fran, and third is Las Vegas.
Okay.
And you want to see, as Las Vegas does have the lowest average, as you can clearly see, and one statistical method we look at, if you look at the mean of the base indices in mind, you can see that the average price of Los Angeles houses have increased by 85%. So that's kind of accounts for the high mean. So what we've done here is we plotted the prices, as you can see on your report, for Las Vegas, San Fran, and Los Angeles over time. And you can see that Las Vegas reached its peak in 2005 and through 2008. And Los Angeles reached its peak a little bit later, and San Fran is kind of nestled in between the two. Okay.
But they all have kind of like that housing bubble during the recession.
Correct, yeah. And that's where it's fun to see.
Okay.
Out of the 3 cities, which would give us the highest resale value?
Well, you gotta understand that during the last couple of years, last decade, there's been some housing market issues, and there's a lot of terms thrown around like underwater and foreclosed mortgages and whatnot. What I can tell you is that from looking at the data in the last 15 years, it appears that the best value for your dollar in investing is going to be in Las Vegas. In recent history, it's just prices have fared better there. There's been less variation. It's just a safer investment. Just Las Vegas or LA and San Francisco are just in a similar situation right now. Their housing market not all the way back to stable footing. So, and this is represented in the standard deviation for the 3 cities. We can see that Los Angeles has a very high standard deviation of 48.285. And what this means is that The data and the prices for homes in LA were distributed along a wider interval, and this means for you as an investor that it could go up a lot or it could go down a lot. It's just not very safe investment.
What are your recommendations in regards to that?
Well, depending, obviously the choice is yours. You have to consider what's important to you guys and where you want to go, but as from a strictly financial investment purpose, I'd recommend investing in Las Vegas. Again, part of this is reflected in the range of the index, and not trying to pick on LA, but it's kind of easy. You can see that the total range, not the beginning and end range of the time period, the total range for the last 15 years is 173.94K, with the lowest value being a base of 100,000 and the highest value being 273,000. The movement of prices in Los Angeles is very sporadic because the prices change a lot. And it's important when we look at that and make these decisions that we look at the range for the total value as opposed to the chronological beginning and end points.
Are the price patterns different over time between LA and Vegas?
What I can tell you is that there is a little bit of difference. Los Angeles had a bit of growth between February 2009 and July 2010. Prices had started to fall in the housing market, and that happened until April 2012, and that's when we started to see the uptick again. Vegas was sloped downward from July 2009 until April 2012. So there's a little bit, Vegas was kind of going down and LA was going up. And that stopped at, again, April 2012. Everyone started seeing improvement in the housing markets, and so that's starting to go up again. So that's just the history on it, and I'd say going forward after Las Vegas, it's still be the best bet financially.
Okay, what's the correlation between like all of the cities? Like, how do they measure out?
All right, what I can tell you is that when you look at the correlation data, you have to consider factors that go into that, like similar lifestyles, demographics, whatnot. But I can tell you the correlation between Vegas and San Francisco was 0.8793. The correlation for Los Angeles to San Fran was 0.9406. The correlation for LA to Las Vegas was 0.8298. And the number that jumps out to me from there is the 0.946 for LA to San Fran, and the reason why that correlation is so high is because they have similar real estate laws, and they're both dense, large urban centers. Las Vegas is a little less dense and a little less urban.
I guess our last question would be, what variables do you think affect house prices?
Well, there's a lot of variables that affect house prices. You gotta consider the neighborhood. I mean, the home price is calculated using a lot of different things, a lot of different factors. How old is the house? How old is the neighborhood? How much how much land do you have underneath the house? Bedrooms, how many bathrooms, what kind of bathrooms, full, half, whether it comes with appliances, square footage, carpet or hardwood on the floors, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of factors that go into it.
Okay. Well, you definitely gave us a lot to think about.
Yes.
So yeah, I hope you ladies will go home and think about this, and when you make a decision, I'm happy to be your real estate agent.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.